Minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's been a long time coming.
Let's go! Let's go!
Some said I wasn't gonna show up. That's what the song was about. But I show up to the showdown, the show when the show's over.
I'm strapped in! I'll clap you in the coma! Man! I can snap it anymore! You always fucking joking! You might just die! You can't wake up out of casket and say psych out loud!
I get those goosebumps every time as soon as I hear the opening of that trailer. A long time coming. Welcome. I'm London Jen, and we are again back 2 nights in a row. Good to be back. Got a lot to talk about. Just had a crazy Premier Battles match day card at the weekend, and of course the insane plug 4 coming up in November. We have one of the battlers who was on the match day 5 card putting a stellar performance, and we're expecting an incredible one coming up on plug 4 against Real Sikh in November. So before I introduce him, if you're tuning in now, share the stream, hit that like, all that good stuff. But I'm going to get into it now. In fact, hold on. I'm going to play one more video before I introduce our esteemed guest, because we got to talk about this.
And Jen be like, I'm rating. I'm rating. Okay. By the Rivers 2-1.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to the show, Cojay.
Yo, that was fire. You telling me that I was on point? I smashed it. I thought I smashed it. I killed it.
We'll talk about your impressions in a while. I don't know. Do I sound that camp? Like,
I don't know, kind of, a little bit. a little bit of it.
Nah, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like, and it's so funny because when I went to play the Patreon link, the pay-per-view Patreon. By the way, all of the match day 5 battles are up on the Patreon, and they are well worth the subscription. If you are not subscribed to Premier Battles Patreon, sort it out. If you can afford it, sort it out, because every month there's countless battles that drop on there a good while before they go on YouTube, and it's a great way to support the channel. But when I clicked on Cojay versus Rivers, I happened to just kind of accidentally tap the mouse, and the first thing I heard was my name, and it's like, what's going on here? I clicked the wrong battle.
Right. It's what happens, man. Like, you can never, no one's ever gonna approach Rivers and not mention you. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Just like,
I don't know. I think you've deaded that now. Son, I am live. I've just said, like, you can.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear what you. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you, son. Every time. But yes, jokes aside, another incredible performance. Talk to me about how you're feeling. What was your kind of takeaway from the battle? Wagwan to the plug, Bizzo Bond, ever supportive. Salute.
It's good, all right.
Yeah, talk to me about your overall kind of impression of the battle.
Yeah, it was all right. It was good. I think it was a shame. Obviously, Rivers had a bit of a stumble in the third. But his first two rounds were great. I enjoyed him a lot. I think his first was probably his strongest. I had fun in the battle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes it was a little difficult to move the crowd, but beyond that, I thought it was, it was decent. It was a good battle. It was a good match, and I enjoyed my performance when I was watching it back. So yeah, I think people are gonna like it when it finally drops. I know people who watched it on the Patreon so far have enjoyed it, so I'm sure
Yeah,
the
it's an
rest.
incredible battle. Incredible battle. You say it was difficult to move the crowd. Do you feel like you didn't get the reaction you deserved, or that you just had to work extra hard for it? It wasn't incredibly intense. I mean, you're an intense performer, but you
Yeah,
gave it some welly, like, for sure, as you'd say
yeah,
in the UK. Like,
yeah.
you really put your foot in that one. Like, what do you mean about the crowd?
I think it was. I think it probably affected mostly everyone on the day. I think it was just the atmosphere. Um, it's not that the event was bad vibes or anything. I just think it was a little. You had to work a little extra to get the pop from the crowd. But we
Oh, they
still
were.
did it. We still did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it wasn't all bad.
yeah.
But it's a stark difference. I feel like these days, I feel like you can tell a difference from when you're in a northern event to when you're in
Mhm.
London. I feel like in London, there's a bit more of a there's a bit more, these days anyway, personally. No diss to Manchester. Obviously, this is my city. It's just it feels like the crowds are a little bit more lively down there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree. Salute to Pathogenic also on the plug card, plug 4 card, plug pre-party. Get your tickets, premierbattles.com. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think London just kind of has a different energy. Manchester's a great vibe. It's a great audience. Every time I go up there, it's like you say, a brilliant atmosphere. But I think London is just a little different, maybe. And I think people really want to react a little more, and it's a slightly different reaction. Yeah, and I've seen you in London, and how you shake those buildings down there, but it didn't come across like you were having to work hard with the crowd. It
Right.
really didn't come. That's why I asked the question, because it really, again, like I said, intense performance. Yeah, it didn't translate, and definitely enjoyed it. I really, I have to first of all rebuke. Oh, as soon as I rebuked, you see my powers. Cojay, don't fuck me. I have to rebuke your angle. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. But Rivers has been Rivers, will be Rivers always, and no one can take anything away from him.
And that's exactly what you should say. That's exactly what I expect you to say.
And on that note, Rivers 2-1. No, you got that. That was a great. Rivers is a warrior, but and he doesn't need me to give him flowers that he doesn't feel he earned. He's open about how he feels about his own performances. So I'm not gonna, he doesn't need me to sit here and cheerlead for him. So salute to Rivs, and I cannot wait to see what he does on the plug.
Same.
Was that, I mean, you talked on the plug when your pre-fight interview with Chubbs, you mentioned you couldn't go into your Sikh battle with a loss against Rivers, or with a loss. How did you, or I think you said specifically against Rivers, but I imagine it would have been the same.
It'd have been the same.
Opponent.
It'd have been the same, yeah.
Like, on the day, how much kind of was that a focus? Not to say looking past Rivers, but in terms of, if I can't ace this, I've got no chance. Was that even on the day kind of a focus? Because obviously it is such a huge event that we've got coming up.
Yeah, it really is. You know what? Not really. I'm quite confident these days, man. Which makes a chase. it might surprise people, but it makes a change, and it's just because I'm prepping earlier, so I know my stuff, and because I know my shit, I'm pretty sure I get tired of it, but I'm objectively looking at it. I'm like, yeah, I know this stuff is gonna work, or at least most of this stuff is gonna work. So if I know my thing, I went in there like pretty confident that it was gonna go my way. Even if it was a debatable or people had me losing or whatever, it wasn't gonna matter because what I had, I was about to get it out, and it was good. So like I really wasn't stressed. The last couple battles, Gem's the same. It's like I haven't really been stressed going into the battle. I felt like whatever happens, my stuff is good enough, and I'm gonna get it out. So I'm happy. So yeah, I didn't really have those kind of stresses or those worries.
Seeing you fluid, seeing you confident like that, kind of in your bag, knowing that I've got my shit locked in, I'm gonna go up here and perform with flair, deliver my shit, do all my tricks and gimmicks, or not gimmicks, but I can go and do it all because I know this shit back to front. I've just lost my question. No, I haven't. Hold on.
You'll get it back.
I got. Yeah, let me bring. I'll go back to the beginning. So yeah, going in there like that. That's it. Seeing you with that fluidity, with your kind of your intensity and the punch rate, it just makes you so much more dangerous an opponent, because when you can get that flow and find that kind of rhythm, keep that momentum exactly as you intended it, it just makes you, just visually watching it, especially when you're in the room, it's just like, oh shit, you better really have, your opponent better really have something to answer this, because it just looks, feels, it's just so impressive. So yeah, keep doing that, man.
Thank you.
Keep doing that.
I plan to. Listen. I wish I'd listened to people telling me to prep a long time ago. But better late than never. So it's just really difficult for me. I find I'm a serial procrastinator, and I'm also stifled with perfectionism, which is a horrible trait to have, because you just end up doing nothing. I would put like nothing to paper unless I was like, this is definitely something I really love. Now I just try and get things out and like make sure I have enough, whether or not I love it or I don't. Just get it out, try and get it out early. And so it's been a bit of a process to try and make that work in my brain. I'm a little scatterbrained, but I feel like I kind of got it down now, and I'm going to repeat the same thing for Sikh. I'm going to start writing soon. I've got a few ideas, nothing really concrete, but we're like 6 weeks away, 5 something weeks away. So I got so much time to work with. I'm not stressed about it, but he's a little scary, but I know.
Just a little. We'll get to Sikh in a second. I noticed this tweet that you put up the other day. Your run since the title match. So I'm not laughing at you. It's my kid. Briggs on man marked, visual battle of the night. Arc, you've conspicuously not written anything there, and I can't actually remember that battle in detail because that's the event I try and forget. So we can both ignore that one. Raptor, battle of the night. Gem. Battle of the night, performance of the night, Rivers, performance of the night, next up versus Real Sikh at the Plug. So basically, this is your run since the title match, since you royally messed up and really weren't prepared, went in there and shit the bed, basically. A lot of choking. Did that because this is a really solid run, great opponents, great performances, and you seem to have a great focus as well. I've said great so many times there, intensely focused. What was different about that? Obviously it was a title match, but what changed after that? What was it that really made you kind of knuckle down and say, you know what? We gotta sort this shit out.
It's gonna sound fucked up because it wasn't even the title match. Like that was the worst, obviously the worst performance I've had in years. But it wasn't even the title match that really woke me up. It was actually the Arc battle, man. Because again, Arc, I didn't like throw it away or anything in the ARC battle. But again, I was writing like that battle like 2 days out. I started writing for the battle, and then on the day, I was so worried that I was gonna choke every round. Like I was like, I'm not gonna get this out at all. I did, but I was still disappointed. I still felt disappointed after the battle because I knew if I'd just given it a little bit more time, I'd have done more. And like Ark deserved more because he's like a high caliber opponent. And the whole thing, it just that battle specifically, I was like, yo, I gotta fix this. If I don't fix this, I'm wasting my time here. I'm just like making up the numbers. I'm coasting by, and it's not really where I want to be. So it was actually that battle. I know I had a good battle with Viz before that. But again, that was another one that I prepped pretty late. I just got lucky, and that's my whole thing. Like a lot of the times, I was just getting lucky, and things were working even though they shouldn't have. But yeah, since the ARC battle, Raptor felt a little underprepared afterwards. But really, that was just because I genuinely had like a week and a half prep time for the battle.
And that was kind of a very up and down, and I could
it was
understand.
a weird battle, the Raptor battle, for a few reasons. Obviously, I had the gem battle was supposed to happen 2 weeks before it, and then obviously it got delayed to the next event, and then I had the 2 weeks to write for Raptor. The event was a little weird. It was just a little weird, but it's still I was trying to prep my best for that. And then since then, I've kept my foot on the gas. I think as far as keep making sure I got my material a week or so out. This time, I think I was like a week and a half out, something like that. That I had all my stuff for Rivers, and I kind of want to follow that pattern, because even if I have my stuff a week out, I kind of just I put a little this or sometimes I throw a little something in. So because I'm used to memorize, like my memory in terms of actually memorizing things, I could learn 3 rounds if I have a full day with 3 rounds if I didn't know them before.
Insane.
But trying to rely on that is the main problem. So, but if I got them out, I know I can deliver them to a degree that is the best I can do, and then I can also push my own limits and see, is that the best I can do? I can look at the Rivers battle and be like, all right, what can I change? What maybe lacked a little bit, and I can fix those because I have the time to do it. I get to analyze and all that type of thing. So prep your stuff. Do what Bizzo does, man. If ever I prep my material earlier than Bizzo, I need an award because I can't do that. But one day it'll happen, and I want to be commended for it.
Never say never. Yeah, you shall get your flowers when that day comes. But it's definitely something, if you are a rising battler, if you're one of the newcomers, one of the new gen, heed this advice. You hear so many battlers say it kind of a certain level in their career. Everyone goes through stages of growth, and this is just another stage. But like everyone says, I was getting lucky. They come to a realization that no, it was luck that obviously I can get away with some shit, but it's not the thing to rely on. I was getting lucky, and the minute everything doesn't go your way, it all falls down. Preparing earlier, you get that level of comfortability. You can go up there and be fluid. And like you said, and I've heard Tony D really talk about this now, where he's kind of gone to long prep, having for decades always been a short prepper. You really get to tinker with yourself. You get to trim the fat. You get to really, make those minor changes which can have maximum impact in terms of how tight your shit is and just how well it flows and how well you can deliver it. So you're hearing it from Cojay, you're seeing the differences in his performances. Guys, prep early.
100%. Don't be me. Don't be me. And there's a few of you out there who are being me. You can't do it. Don't do that. It's not good. It's not worth it. You want to be, you want to put on, like, you're only going to do like what, if you're an active battler, 6, maybe 7 showings. If you're really active, what's the point of even like coming out and doing these if you're not going to show the best you could do in 2 battles what you're doing in 6 if those 2 battles are, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely make the difference. Someone told me a long time ago, and I never heed the advice, but it was like, you're better off having a 50% round that 100% than an 100% round that 50%. And it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that kind of, you know, the fluidity and the polish of you know, knowing your stuff and is just way more valuable than like a nice bar. Like try to have
Yeah.
both, obviously, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And I think especially when you're so punch heavy, you know, you're that kind of an intense of a performer, you need flow, you need to be able to control momentum, and you can lose it. I think definitely in the Gemini battle, I love you versus Gem, but that was one of the big differences that I know, you know, two big punchers, two very creative writers, two people who can really make moments. And I think there are a few times where Gem suffered, where you could just see, he just, you know, there's certain times you can see the cogs wheeling, and or he'd slip, you know, where he drops a word and you've got tight rhyme patterns and shit, and it just throws you completely off. It might only be for a split second or two, but you're taking us on a journey, and now we've just kind of, you know, oh, okay.
You
Right
break
back on again,
immersion.
but
If you break immersion, now you can break immersion lots of ways. You can break immersion with your content. You drop a bad bar or you drop a stinker, you're gonna break immersion. It's there's lots of ways to do it, but the easiest way to break immersion is to not be polished. You doing a little and you can see on your face, it's written all over you, like you can see that when it happens, and that's the last thing you want to do. So if you can prevent that in any way, then try it, and prep is the best way to do it. Unfortunately, it's a lot of work, but you know, do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Great form right now, absolutely incredible form. In terms of, you know, your career, where, you know, and how you feel about your performances, where does that rank across your whole career, you know, in terms of satisfaction yourself?
Yeah, I'm probably the best right now that I've ever been. Probably there's like, you know, battles from like way back that I like some of my content and I like some of, but like in terms of the entire package, like as to be an all rounder, I'm definitely like the best that I've ever been now this year, which is crazy because I've been at it for like, I've had time off and whatnot, but you know, I started 10 years ago in August. It was 10 years ago. So, you know, it's nice that after 10 years, I can still like do a little better. That makes me feel like I'm better at what I do. But yeah, it's definitely this year.
Yeah, I think, you know, that kind of, you should, you know, with the great entertainers, artists, creatives, you should see still progression. There's always areas that you can grow, tools you can add to your arsenal, little tweaks, you know, adaptations, or even just updating your style, taking on new things that you're seeing, you know, coming in that weren't there 5 years ago, 10 years ago. There's always ways to elevate. So I think it makes sense. And, you know, seeing kind of this last year, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years. But like I said, amazing form right now. You are going into a battle with an incredible opponent who is also in impeccable form. Absolutely impeccable form. Well, I mean, this is what we want, right? This is what we want.
There we go.
We want two guys coming in at
Of course.
abilities as fans. I mean,
yeah,
as supporters, as someone who wants to see the best clashes. You know, this has on paper, you know, it's just got another potential battle of the night in, you know, a card full of some of the best battlers in the world. What is from your perspective, what is so great about this battle? Why should people buy a ticket, cop the pay-per-view, get on a flight? There are people getting on flights. There's still plenty of time to arrange transportation and accommodation. What is so great?
Man, listen, I feel like this battle's even gotten better since it was announced. I'm not gonna lie. When it was originally announced, you know, we were both, you know, in pretty good shape, but Sikh hadn't battled, I think, since his URL battle with Twerk,
Okay.
which again was fantastic. But like since then, he's had 3 battles. He's battled Homeschool, Disaster,
Yes.
and A Ward, and
Yeah.
probably had like the best performances of his career at a period in a
Yeah.
couple of them. So
Yeah, that A-Ward battle was breathtaking. Sorry to cut you. Go on.
no, I
Yeah.
completely agree. It was insane. I was watching pay-per-view as it was happening, and I was like, "Yo, this guy's unfair, man. He's doing a lot. He's doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot very, very well, and yeah, it's. I mean, I don't see how you could possibly not want to see him on his form and me in my form right now. Like, I don't see that's completely insane. We do a lot of things similarly. We do a lot of things differently. Optically, obviously, people want to see this battle. The guy's fucking a mountain, you know what I'm saying? So people want to see 2 people do an arm wrestle on stage, basically. Um, but this is definitely like Prem Battle of the Year standard, material here. Like, the guy, people are talking about Real Sikh could be top 5 right now in his current form. So, that's very dangerous. And I think in my current form, I'm probably up there in this country too. So, yeah, I think even since the flyer dropped, it's become a lot more interesting. So yeah,
Yeah.
you must be crazy to not want to see it.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. In terms of recent showings, it really just has added to the anticipation, and it, on paper, and it just, it just has everything. Like you said, I just lost my question again. I'm good at this, I promise. I'm good
Yeah,
at
it's
this.
all right.
I had a fire question. What was my question? That was it. Sikh. So we've seen Sikh in London, came, battled his first time. This was before he'd hit the URL stage. He was making noise on iBattle, came and had an incredible performance against Maverick, and really quickly won over the crowd. We are in the Steelyard, looking towards selling out. Like I say, if you don't have a ticket already, get it, because they will
It's a
sell
couple
out.
hundred left or something like that. We got 6 weeks on the clock, so they are going to disappear.
That's it. They're definitely going to disappear. Is this kind of your preferred setting for this battle? A big stage, big crowd. How do you feel about the stage, the setting?
That's great. Like people always say this. Like I've heard it a few times in spaces when people are talking about how are you gonna feel in a big stage? Lots of people. Listen, the more people, the better for me, for my style. I'm hitting with punch after punch. If the crowd are popping off, that works in my favor. I got a big room roaring every time I drop a line. That's good for me. And I have the kind of energy that translates whether I'm in the pit or in the stage. It's going to be a high energy performance, so I have no problem working in a big room. And to do a battle of this caliber in front of that many people, I feel like it's just going to be like 2 people. If I'm at my peak, he's at his peak, and he's never really dropped the ball. I'm not gonna lie, I've never really seen Sikh show up and not be Sikh, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this could just be the room exploding for 6 rounds.
That's what it looks set to deliver. Just such a high intensity battle. I've said intensity so many times today as well, because it fits with you, it fits with Sikh, the aggression, the range as well. You mentioned how well-rounded he is and how much he does. I was speaking to Bizzo about this yesterday. Check out the interview I had with Premier Battles champion Bizzo Bond yesterday. Dope interview on the channel somewhere down there or wherever, but was mentioning how in such a short space of time, Sikh just ticked off like about 6 boxes in half a round. After A-Ward just came, had a really great round, kind of had you don't fuck with King of the Dot, you look down your noses at us. Sikh kind of had to come back, answer that, did that in a rebuttal, maybe a pre-battle. There's a lot, there was so much there, And I think with you as well, you've got, like you said, you do some very similar things. You do things differently. Great sense of humor. You've got a very dry, sarcastic sense of humor. I think that often comes out. You've got the aggression, and that ability to kind of really send those punches just continually coming, and really nice setups as well. It's not just the random punches. Your setups are super tight, like with Sikh, really nice rhyming as well, complexity in there. And why do I keep forgetting where I'm going? I'm talking so much. I need to work on my setups, right? I need to work on my setups. But that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah, that was it. The very great anglers as well. I think you particularly have this skill of picking the right angles and delivering them in a really great way. You expose people's flaws in a way that people want to relate to, or is very digestible. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to be one for the books. Have you and Sikh spoken at all behind the scenes?
A little bit. We spoke a little bit when the flyer first dropped. Spoke a little bit after his homeschool battle, and then we spoke immediately after, while he was still in the venue at Blackout, after he just battled A-Ward, because I was just basically like, bro, I hate you, man. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what is all this? But I know he's amped for the battle, and I know he's been writing too, which is crazy because he's had so much on his plate. But he's got some stuff in the chamber already for this. And he did before he went and battled Ward. So yeah.
Sikh is an incredibly hard worker. I'm hoping to get him on soon as well. But yeah, he's such a consummate professional, and just really, like you say, he doesn't do unprepared. He doesn't give. He always comes, gives 100%, and it shows. A great artist and rapper. When I keep remembering the I've forgotten it now. I'm saying I keep remembering it. What was that joint? Crack the knuckles. What was that? Air out the joint. Like, so insane. I love that. That was one of those, like, why has that not been said before? Like, that was so fire. Love that bar, and so many from there. If you haven't seen that, go and check Sikh out. Sikh versus A-Ward on King of the Dot. Get the pay-per-view on their channel. One of my favorite bars this year is one of yours. I think it was this year. Yeah, of course it was. You and Jem. I'm going to play it, actually. I'm going to play a little clip. I hope Briggsy doesn't mind. This is all commentary anyway. It's fair use. You can't sue me or anything. Fine. But yeah, I'm sure he will. And in fact, what I'm going to play, this is what I was leading to this. I was trying to tie in all the elements you have, and then talk about your performance and tie it in with the stage. I'm breaking the 4/4 down with a sledgehammer here. But I was supposed to then go to this first clip and talk about your performance, seeing you do this live, and how well you can kind of deliver material, act as well. That acting element was very impressive. Let's have a little look at this. This is you and Gemini Plug 4.
So they been down the kid. Think of my mind. And they're right. I'm taking gems out in the pit. Open you.
Can we hear this? You can hear this in the chat. Let me know.
Think I'm a minor. And they're right. I'm taking gems out in the pit. Open you drop down. Let's do this stuff down. You blow more than me. Shut up. Shut up. You dumb fuck. I'm about to pop off in the race. Smash bros. You want to stack out? Get knocked off of the stage. Because you are faking tough, and I'm gonna take his bluff. Glad you jazzed me to get his face lit up. Glad you jazzed me to get his face lit up.
Thanks.
Now I'm joking. You see the way his face lit up?
Fire. Fire. Hearts sank in the building because you were floating. You were absolutely floating up there.
I could feel it. I loved it. I was like, I could feel everybody's disappointment. That's when I knew it was gonna work. When I could feel the room like in pain, I was like, this is gonna fucking
Palpable.
land, bro.
Yeah.
This is gonna work.
No, that was incredible. I think maybe where you've had some practice choking, maybe that was why.
I had the experience, it helped out in some way.
I think it's a lot better than your fake chokes are a lot better than your impressions. So you've got the fake choke locked in. Don't have to keep working, but work on the impressions.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. But that was supposed to be my very clever segue, which I completely fucked up. But we're gonna go to one of my favorite bits. If you are unfamiliar with, if you're one of my friends from across the pond and you are not super familiar with Cojay, get familiar because he's got a ton of great performances out there, and you're going to see something incredible against Sikh. So thought I'd just give you little clips to kind of have a look. Oh, am I?
Some that exceeds imagination, but the difference between us is I don't seek their validation. I don't get on the stage so they believe in what I'm facing. I get on the stage because I believe I can escape it. I made mistakes in my life, but you live and you learn. I built a castle from the ashes of the bridges I burned. That's why. I built a castle from the ashes of the bridges I burned. That's why I couldn't give a fuck about the shit in your first. I built the hill I'm dying on out of the shit that I've earned.
What a way to end the battle. That's one of them lines, that it's just so cold, like it's so
like,
cold.
It's not about the wordplay or anything. It's just like, I like things like that. I rarely can come out with them, so it was nice to have one for that one.
When you wrote it, look, it's making me cry. It's emotional. It's an emotional moment, especially after the comeback from the choke. When you wrote that, was that one of those that you just know, oh shit, this is super fire?
You know what? Actually, I was like, I didn't know if the crowd was gonna rock with it because it was like kind of like imagery. To be honest, I was not super confident in my entire third round, and it's quite split on how people feel about it. Some people are like, it was the weaker round. Some people are like, it is the best round of your 3 rounds. So I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't super confident in the whole third because it kind of strayed away from what I'm normally used to do. I'm just layup punch is usually what I'm doing, throw a joke or two in there. But this one was more about I had an angle, I had to hit every point of the angle, and then I had to wrap it up somehow. And so I was a little worried, but I wasn't entirely sure that any of the kind of that kind of material was going to work. But when I got to like midway through the third, I was like, all right, I think I kind of got a good gauge of how the room are enjoying it. So yeah, but going into it, I wasn't sure. I liked it a lot, but like a lot of battlers will talk about this, how it's like we wish we had like some sort of like a machine where you could put your bar into it and it would tell you whether or not people would think it was ass, because you get so
like a barter.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. You get so trapped in like knowing your own judgment. Obviously, you're objectively aware of like what's good and what's bad, but there's like a fine line sometimes with material, and you don't know, is this gonna land? Maybe the way I'm thinking about it is wrong. So there's a lot of self-doubt that comes with it. But yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, no, it was I loved it. And I think where you set it up, like you said, it was one of those where you're painting the picture and you set it up so vividly that bar was what you needed to bring it home, and then you kind of compounded on it and just done the dance. It was a really great placement as well. I think end on a high. But yeah, so lots more to come on that. Let's gosh, taught so much. I thought we'd be 20 minutes in by now. We're 40 minutes. Let's take a peekaboo at the card. Obviously we have Cojay versus Real Sikh. These graphics are incredible. Briggs is
Bruh,
such
the
a big,
branding is on
yeah,
point. I love these flyers so much.
amazing, right? Like how can they still look so fresh and new? And I think this definitely deserves it. But can you have you got a battle of the night prediction? Let's sleeper battle of the night. Let's do that.
Sleeper battle of the night. Bobby Yunnan. Rex Yunnan, probably.
Is there even a sleeper on here? I don't even know.
There isn't, because that's completely valid. Like, that's a completely valid battle of the night. Like, this, obviously, I think most people are going to go into it assuming Shoddy Twerk, right? I think everyone's like Shoddy Twerk. Shoddy's the, best in the country, debatably best in the country, biggest in the country, definitely by a country mile. Then you got Twerk, probably one of the best in the States. A lot of people have him as favorite in the States. And then both the top form is instant classic. There's no debate. That's the instant classic. So a lot of people are going to assume, Shoddy Twerk battle of the night. And it very possibly could be like, it's probably, but every single one of those battles, the form that everybody is on, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, that Bobby Yunnan's going to be crazy. Yunnan's on smoke. Bobby's just come off the back of a crazy performance in a title match at the best title match in PB history. So look, I don't know, like,
I think a ferocious battle right there. Ferocious. Described it yesterday as one of those unstoppable force versus immovable object type ones.
It really is. It really, both of them are crazy. They're crazy. Some of the best we got. Well, this whole card is some of the best we got. So,
the energy and intensity, the level of writing on this as well, showmanship. There's so much on this, on this one card, and every battle is on paper, a battle of the night, potentially battle of the year, classic, etc., etc. What are you personally most looking forward to?
It's actually Bizzo, Lou Castro, because I want to see, and I know he can do it, but I want to see Bizzo, big stage Bizzo, trying to compete with what America consider like one of the more electric performers out there. That's what I want to see. I want to see, because we know Bizzo can write. We know Bizzo's gonna have bars. We know Bizzo's gonna be nice with it. He's gonna have them really nice, fluid, schemes throughout the battle. But can he capture? Is he gonna be able to capture the room the same way that Lou can capture the room? Or is he gonna be able to rival it? That's the most interesting bit, I think. For me, and I have total faith that he can do it. I just want to see him do it. I want to see him do it.
And that's the thing, right? Bizzo will, every test that he has, all of the challenges, he rises to them. He finds a way. He finds the formula, right? And I think this is a real unlock for him, because Lou is a moment maker. He is a real charismatic showman, and like you say, Bizzo's going to have to neutralize it, overcome it, maybe match it. He's got to do something to kind of really do something about that. And I think it's knowing that he will do something. It's knowing that he's got something. There will be something, and I just can't wait to see what it is. I can't wait.
He's gonna smash it, if he can match Lou's, or if he can counter Lou's performance, Lou's got a problem. Lou's got a problem on his hands, because Bizzo don't play around at all. It's scary.
No, you can't.
In fact, it's scary for everyone. If Bizzo can perform in a bit, it's scary for everybody, because the advantages that we assume, or battlers assume they have over him, slowly fade away with every performance that he has. All these things that flaws that people pick out at him, like they're dissipating more and more every time he steps out. So if he can take over that stage, then there's not going to be much that anybody can say to him going forward. So I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. Me too. So much to look forward on there, and not to look past it. But in terms of where you see yourself going, what sort of direction are you taking in 2024? Do you have any, opponents in mind? And I've seen you talk about the new gen maybe taking on a newcomer next year. Is that something you're still thinking? And who are the
It's possible. It's possible. Look, I
mm,
don't think it does any of the new gen any favors to get absolutely obliterated into
agreed.
dust. So it to me right now, as it stands, I don't think there's a one standout who's like actually ready yet. But
Mm,
there could be at some point next year. I want to, if I'm being honest, I want to take one of them. But one of them needs to like really like step out and have a breakout performance or something, like showing that that they can really like hang, because I think that's going to end up being the best battle. If I can, I will take one of them. Outside
mm.
of that, I want to do a 2-on-2
Oh,
next year. I know I had last year. There was the Anarchy tournament, didn't work out, but I got different plans. I've got different plans for
and
this one.
you've changed your preparation
I have.
style now
I
as well.
have.
So
And I think I have a partner who is more aligned with the way that I prep material and, anyway. So
mm,
that'll be interesting. Not going to say too much more on that, but I'm definitely want to do a 2-on-2 next year. And I want to battle an international as well. One of them in
mm.
particular, which is A Ward. I'd like to battle
Ah,
A Ward.
oh, okay.
I'd like to do
I'd
that
love
battle.
to do that. Over here in the States, don't care. In a
Over
backyard
here, over
anywhere. Okay.
here. I'd like to do it over here. I'd like Ward to come over, and yeah, I'd like to get that done. I don't know, London preferably, but really for a battle like that, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'd like to do the Ward battle. There's other ones that have been floated that I would also
Mm,
really enjoy, like Thesaurus and things like that. I would like to do, but if I had to pick one right now, it would be A Ward.
yeah, that's an exciting opponent. I think that's one, as one a lot of people, he's a very hard to beat battler. He's someone who battles every 5 minutes. So
Yeah,
how many things have not been said to him? You've really got to kind of bring a creative approach. He's going to do a lot. He's got the
yeah,
rebuttaling power. So yeah, it's I think people always definitely bring their A game. I think with the in terms of the new gen as well, I think whoever, if you did decide to give someone a shot, you're going to see the best them.
yeah, of
It's going to
course.
be one of those where sometimes this is what, at the right time, right? At the right
Yeah.
time, you need that to level up. You need
Uh-huh.
to be battling someone with experience, who
To
who
push you
who
there.
outclasses you. That's
That's
it.
that's the whole point. That's the whole point of doing
That's
it,
it.
right? It's to make one of them kind
Mm,
of push them to the next level by seeing if they can match you, right? And I get that, but you run the risk if it's too early
yeah.
of just messing up somebody's
Chopping them down at the
trajectory.
knees.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And that doesn't help them really. It doesn't. So yeah, I've got my eyes on a few. I want to see how Black T does next year. I want to see how Tech is doing next year. There's also, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it because I feel like stylistically it's odd, but Reverse is very, very, very good.
Mm.
He's very good, and
He-
out of the newcomers, he's probably the strongest. He just beat Georgie. He hasn't lost at all this year, and
mm,
he's been going up against people who he's supposed to lose to every time. He battled like
that's exactly.
Crow, all those people. So, he's very good. I don't know if stylistically that's a match people would want to see me do necessarily, but I think he's probably ready for like a shot, so to speak. Um,
And he's still someone as well that's kind of developing.
yeah,
You know, he's still adding things and working on his own style that, you know, I don't think he's anywhere near fully fledged yet. So
Oh,
yeah,
definitely not. No.
there's a lot of potential. Cojay Ward is a really good battle, isn't it? Isn't it right? You're the plug. You're the plug. What do you think about that one?
On 5?
Premier Battle says Kojay's a bum. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Agree?
Well, actually, I don't think you're a bum. You know what I think? And I say this publicly. I think you're a bit of an arsehole, right? And let me land because that's actually okay, you agree. And I think where you're when I was talking about your attacks and your angling approaches, and I think that's some of that arseholery that you have to be so effectively demeaning, to have the kind of effect on the audience to make them want to believe in your angle. I think you got to be a bit of an arsehole, more arsehole than bum. But you know, if
you got to listen. We're in battle rap, man. You ain't gonna. I'm not gonna. You know, obviously, that most people in this. And I say almost all people in battle rap in the community. They're people that I have a lot of respect for, and most people who are battling, I have a lot of respect for you. But at the same time, you suck. You suck. Plain and simple.
There you go. Hey, Quilliam. Cojay is scary good right now, isn't he? Isn't he?
Thank you, Quill. Thank you.
Yunnan in 2024.
Man, everybody's trying to get me to do this battle, including the people who just called me a bum. Premier Battles themselves want me, you know, everyone wants to see me do this battle. I know Yunnan wants to do the battle. And listen, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying rematches, I've done a couple of them. I've done a few of them. I'm not like, I know why people want to see the battle. He's in great form. It was many, many years ago that we did the first one. And, you know, both of us have changed a lot and evolved a lot. And we're at a point where if we did the battle now, it would probably be another just, you know, beating each other up for 3 rounds, right? So, listen, I'm not counting it out. It's a possibility. But people keep telling me to do it. Makes me not want to do it anymore.
Well, okay, I won't. What I'll say is, in terms of like kind of battle rap fairy tales, there's a lot of battles that shouldn't be rematches, don't need to be rematches. And yeah, maybe you've both improved and come a long way, but so what? Like, battle someone new. You've been there, done that. Give your brain a break from the same name flips or whatever. But this one, I think the storyline, you know, you battled, you have come a long way, you have grown, you both incredibly, you know, more well-rounded, talented, or not talented, but skilled performers. But you've also personally, in terms of your relationship, you know, you've had some real
he's a little shit.
Harsh words
exchanged. He's a little shit.
You know, like it's been an up and down journey, and now kind of I feel like you're at a great point where you've got a certain amount of you know, professional respect for each other and appreciation of each other as artists, rappers, sportsmen, you know. And so, like I said, battle rap fairy tale land, it's just one of those rematches that would make sense.
I see that. I do see that, definitely. I'm definitely not saying it's not going to happen because they're pushing for it, so it's definitely a possibility. And I mean, out of UK names right now that I could take, it makes probably the most sense. It probably makes the most sense out of, you know, what's on the table, at least for next year. So look, it's possible. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the man who just called you a bum says it's booked, so.
Bruh, he was. Listen, if I let him tell me what was booked all the time, I'd be doing 10 battles a year. We'll see about that.
Yeah, you have to be a bit of an arsehole. Cojay may be more than a bit, but he's good. He'd still die.
I'll crumpet, of course. No, I don't want no smoke or crumpet. He's on a different level. I do agree with that. I do agree.
Yeah, would definitely love to see any of those matchups, Yunnan, Award, and potentially, giving someone a shot. But yeah, in your retirement era, in the current era, this is what it is, the retirement era.
Yes.
Salute, Quill. Who do you see? Can you see yourself going over to the States and battling over there? Is that a possibility?
It's a little complicated. I'm not gonna say it's impossible because I haven't had a meeting yet, but it's a little complicated. I'm gonna need to get a visa. I can't be approved because of criminal record stuff. So I have to still go to the offices to see if it's even possible for me to get back into the country. I think it's looking possible because of my history there as a permanent resident for like 13 plus years, whatever. So it's looking plausible, but I don't know for certain, which is why I haven't pursued like doing iBattle or like any of those kind of things, because it's still a little bit up in the air. But hopefully when I have a bit more clarity on how viable it is, I can start talking to if it becomes viable, I get an approved visa, whatever it is, then definitely it's you'll see me over there, maybe more than once.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to see you on iBattle. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Have you got any specific opponents that you'd like to battle in America?
I don't know. I've given it thought, and I'm still unsure. There's a lot of talent over there, and I like Appa a lot. But he's the iBattle's probably iBattle's best. You know what I mean? Best and brightest. I'd love to do that battle. I know we spoke about it a little bit on Twitter just briefly, and he'd be into it. But I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sold on any one person, but I do have my eyes on Appa. If I had to pick right now, I would say him.
Yeah, I like that. Appa is super dope. He's massively fast rise as well. It's just
extremely.
Literally a couple of years ago he was battling in spaces as opportunistic, like how it's crazy.
He's done a really good job of providing opportunities to the people who showed that they could handle it. So yeah, he's done great with people like Appa and FIBO as well, people like that. He's done great in pushing them.
Yeah, for sure. Salute to Lex and iBattle. In terms of other, we've got the big international clash, UK, US, and Canada on the plug. Do you foresee more big matches, international matchups in 2024?
For just UK battlers
in general, yeah. Do you foresee that, and are there any that you'd particularly be interested to see?
Well, listen, on like half of my tweets when I talk about fucking Bizzo, Jazz is on there flirting with Bizzo, trying to get a matchup. So that to me has got to happen. We're gonna see that happen, I'm sure, because we've been trying to get Jazz over here anyway, so it just makes sense. So I'd see Jazz Bizzo happening. I want to see Jem. I know he's battling Coffee. I know, and that's that's going to be a decent battle. But I want to see Jem get another international plate, something that's like maybe more stylistically, I don't know. I don't even know who I'd match him with, but I like to see Jem go against someone. Quill too. I know Quill was busy with the ton of matches. He's also got something else he's going on in December. So he had a lot on his plate, but I'd like to see Quill go up against someone from out there. I don't know who, maybe like, I don't know. Quill's different because he's changed a lot. So I don't know, like stylistically, how I'd put it. I'd like to see someone as energetically haphazard as him. I don't even know who to suggest.
Keep talking, because apparently you're leaking everything. So we're getting the goods. Like we're speaking hypotheticals here. We're speaking hypotheticals, but apparently
I didn't know if I'm leaking something. I don't even know what I leaked. I'm just talking about stuff that's.
Just keep it coming.
Okay, well, apparently I've leaked something. Well, he's just leaked something by saying I leaked something. Oh, Will versus Bill Collector. Holy shit!
Oh,
Caveman just
caveman.
fucking slapped it
Yeah,
on the fucking head. That's
that's it.
exactly the kind of matchup I'm looking for. That energetically kind of like you don't
Yeah.
really know where the energy's going, but the performance is always on 10 somehow. That's the kind of match you want. That's I like it. I like it a lot. Just
Don't
so much.
mention Lux and Briggs or
Okay.
Crumpet and Rumnitty.
Crumpet and Remedy, of course.
Yeah.
I'll try to keep them on the low. Um, or Dub T Shoddy. Yeah. I don't know about that one, Brett.
Yeah.
But
Shotty versus Gotti. I want to see Shotty Gotti.
Shotty got crazy. The thing, Shotty, I feel like we'll probably get. Hopefully, I'm hoping we'll get a couple of battles over here from Shotty, but Shotty seems to be on a wave where he just wants to go here, there, and everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I can see that happening next year. I can see a lot of big matches happening, but just over on iBattle, on King of the Dot, on the Riot, on all these kind of leagues, I can see him popping off. If the Gotti battle happens, I would love it to be here, but if it's on the Riot or something, I'm not mad at it.
That's exactly how I feel, and I would love to be in London and see Shotty versus Gotti. It's insane, right? But the purist in me, the one who wants things to be the fairy tale, it just screams Riot. It just screams, Shotty going over to Compton on a crazy card, headline it. It would be incredible. So I'm trying to, let's all collectively speak that into existence. Let's put energy into that, because that's one of those.
Shotty's a myth and a legend over there, man. If he wants to, he can get any name on any league on any card, because if he just tweets it,
we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it. When he tweeted this year, I think I want some big battles. Everybody was on that.
He's different. He's 10, a unicorn,
top
man.
20, Everybody anybody was trying to get that Shotty battle, and now we've got Shotty versus Twerk.
He's outside, man. He's outside, and it's great for everybody that he's outside. Although, I keep pressuring him, but I want him to do a UK match. I want him to take a UK guy, and I want him to do it next year. I want him to take one UK guy. I don't care if that's Soul, if that's Gemini, if that's, you know what I mean? But I want him to do one of them.
Yeah, just one. That would be nice, right? That would be nice.
He would take me, then I said Quill, by the way. But I'd like to see him.
That little head-to-head during the visual battle, and their conversation afterwards definitely made me kind of think, this is one that would be dope if it could happen, for sure. And I definitely want to see Shotty Gem and Soul. It just would be awesome to have him active. If he wants to grace us with his presence. Plug says, I've always wanted to see Shotty Gem and Quill and Oppa. I like that combination. That's
a good battle too. That's a very good battle. I know Raptor Oppa was supposed to happen, right, at Apex. It's a shame he didn't manage to come over here and do it. But I'd like to see him come over here if someone doesn't go over there and take somebody on. I think that'd be great.
Before you go, I have to ask you, are you the product of a conspiracy nut?
That bar was amazing. I ain't gonna lie.
Fire.
That was an amazing bar. The setup, it was great, man. Yeah, that's probably one of the better conspiracy bars I've been hit with. I ain't gonna lie. I love that bar.
I love that. I had to throw that in there. That's one of those.
It's great. If you ain't seen it, go to the Patreon, watch the battle. It's great. Watch it. It's
definitely go. And if you're, like I said, if you're one of my friends from across the pond and you're not super familiar with Cojay, go and get familiar. Put him on Verse Track. Google Cojay versus, or YouTube that, or go to the Premier Battles playlist for Cojay, and the Patreon showed you some clips from from Gem versus Cojay, and insane performances. Get your tickets for the plug, premierbattles.net. Cojay, is there anything you want to leave us with?
Get a ticket to the plug, man, because it's disgusting, and I'm gonna be disgusting too. Listen, I'm going for battler of the year, man. That's what I'm doing. I'm going for it.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yes. All right. Yeah. Battle of the year, battler of the year. This year, you know, some of the toppest of top tiers are out in force, putting in enough
Yes,
performances against top names and
yes.
really delivering. Where do
Man,
you see yourself amongst who's kind of the you see yourself up there? Who else is up there with you?
man, you know what? It's very competitive. I'm not gonna, come up here and say like it's in the bag. It's not in the bag, because there's like you
You
said,
ain't done.
everyone's out and everyone's active. Shuffle T is gonna be up there. He had Shadi Hara, he's had Harry Baker, and he's got the 2-on-2 with A Ward and
Exactly.
Loto.
Yeah.
That's three
Yeah.
huge battles,
Massive.
and he's performed great in two of them so far. You got Gemini, obviously. He's had the battle with me. He's had his battle with Rivers. He's got Quill coming up on Don't Flop. He has Coffee coming up on the plug. That's four great battles. Again, he's been performed well in two of them. I'm sure he's going to perform well in the other two. Quill, he's battled Visual, amazing performance. He battled Marlo, amazing performance. He's got Gemini coming up. He's got another one in December, I think. And then he's got you got fucking Yunan, you got Bizzo, you got Bobby, you've got fucking, if Shotty had done one more, he'd be in the mix
Yeah.
too. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. But I'll say this much. I feel like if people can say I debatably beat Real Sikh, then I'm top three.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm top three.
It's going to be I think plug 4 will really kind of help separate. Well, it might, or it might make
Make it
it
more
even more
difficult.
difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But I
possible.
think it's going to do something. It's definitely
Yeah.
going to do something,
Yeah.
and yeah, you've got a great argument. That's it. If you have, if you get a win, a debatable win, enough people are saying, "Oh, I edge that to Cojay," or even just you have an amazing battle
A
with Sikh, one of
classic.
those. It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter 2-1 either way. That
Yeah.
on the form Sikh is in, because I always look at, yeah, okay, you battled Twerk, but did he choke all 3 rounds, or was he impeccable up there? It makes a difference. And if you beat a Twerk that was impeccable all 3 rounds, that makes a hell of a lot more difference in terms of your stock than if you beat the
Absolutely.
shit the bed one. So yes, and an exciting couple of months to round out the year for sure. There's a lot going on, but yeah, you've done the performances to be up there in those kind of finalist conversations. Trubs is saying, I've got a battle of the year vid, battle of the year. All this stuff is coming. He is editing as we speak, so definitely make sure. And when the GoFundMe comes out, support that if you're able to. These guys put in so much work, and there is no money in our scene. Our guys really deserve to. There isn't,
Subway
there's
sandwiches for everybody on the with the cookie and the drink.
I don't know about that. Is that what they're doing up in Manchester?
No,
in
not
London.
for everybody. Sorry, not for every the
You
cookies
can't
and
do
the
that at
drink.
London prices.
That's a select for you. It's a select for you.
No, this has been a great conversation, Cojay. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course,
on.
it's a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
No, it's been a lot of fun, and we'll have to catch up afterwards. I'm definitely doing some fun other stuff in the lead up to the plug. So I'd love to have you back on and involved in some of that. So, but yeah, like I said, go and check out Cojay if you're unfamiliar. Where can people find you, and give them 2 battles that you would recommend?
At Cojay Lives on everything. It's the same code at Cojay Lives on everything. And 2 battles, obviously the Gem battle. The Rivers battle ain't out yet. Otherwise, I would say that one too. But in the meantime, me and Visual. Why not? Visual did well in that battle too. So yeah, I'd say me and Gemini, me and Visual, watch those two battles. You'll know what I'm about pretty much. You know, get your ticket to the plug and come see what I do, because it'll be even crazier than them two.
That is it. Yeah, get your tickets. 19th of November. We've got the pre-party on the 17th of November at Dogstar. Premierbattles.club. Don't miss it. See you later. We're out.